story for you. Today I have Kathrin Gnilka with me. She's an impact entrepreneur and a sustainability professional. She's been working with different experts to ensure that Earth is more of a sustainable planet for you. So how are you, Kathrin?
I'm good, thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
Great pleasure to have you with us, and thank you for accepting the invitation.
Anytime. Thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have originally a different background. So my background is basically sales and marketing, and I worked many years in hospitality and tourism. And I felt for the past couple of years the urge just to make a change in my life and to have something that drives me in the morning, that gives an impact and gives a meaning to my life and to the life of other people. So I decided to start my own business, and that's why I also an impact entrepreneur. I really want to make a change in this world, not only for people and for the planet as well.
That's impressive. So how did you get this idea of building something of your own? I am sure it's not happening overnight. There was some series going on behind it.
Yeah, I mean, like those kind of things you think about for quite some time, and then you just think, do you want to do it? Do you want to take a risk? It is obviously a risk to step out of a normal job and out of corporate life where you have your monthly salaries. So obviously, universe answered that question for me and gave me the opportunity and gave me the right moment, and I just took a leap of faith and did it, and now I'm making it work.
She has started 1001 Good Deeds as an enterprise. So let's know more about it.
Yeah, 1001 Good Deeds is a social enterprise, but also kind of consultancy. Mm-hmm. So I help companies reduce their carbon footprint and also their environmental footprint. I help them to become more sustainable, also more ethical. Mm-hmm. And I do training, for example, corporate training on sustainability and climate change. So this is really a topic that is very important here in the UAE and also in the whole Middle East, because we are living in a very vulnerable climate, in a desert climate. And climate change is something that is still too much getting discussed on a level of it's something that might happen somewhere down the road or in a couple of years from now, but climate change is not something that might happen. It is happening, and it is already happening now.
What I feel, Kathrin, is that a lot of people are talking about climate change and they understand that we need it. But what's lacking is action. Yeah. So probably from 1001 Good Deeds and your ventures, really learn how to act to change.
Yes.
So can you tell us more about that? How we can transform our actions, make more conscious decisions?
Yeah, that's obviously the most important part before you can act is the educational part. That's why I developed this training, because I feel a lot of people want to do something, but they don't really know where to start. And a lot of people also believe that one person can't make a change. But if you check on a yearly basis, or like if you just like see on a weekly basis how, just like observe what you do, how much trash you are actually accumulating over the time of a week or a month, then you will see actually how much impact you have. And there's a very nice statement from Dr. Goodall, who said, everybody on this planet makes an impact every single day, and it's our choice what kind of impact you want to have. So we can all do something, and this is part of the training, to tell people not only what is climate change, also what causes climate change, and what we can do on a daily basis. So be it reducing our usage of natural resources like water, like energy, for example, but also reducing the amount of plastic. Because a lot of people also think that recycling is, things getting recycled. First of all, less than 10% of plastic globally is getting recycled. Less than 10%. Even in countries, even we have countries like Germany or like in Europe, we have like recycling facilities in place. We have this recycling facilities in place here as well. But still, as soon as you throw something in your normal trash, it's not getting recycled. So it's an illusion to think plastic is not a problem. Plastic is a huge problem, and the only real solution we have is not to use it in the first place. So reduce it as much as you can. Reduce the use. Yes, we need to reduce the use. Yes. Obviously, here we need also more infrastructure to make it easier for people to recycle. So we do have facilities in place, but we don't have the infrastructure of making it easy for people. So as soon as somebody has to drive somewhere to discard glass bottles or plastic bottles, it's not going to work, right? So there needs to be a system in place. But if we have a lot of options, for example, a simple option is just to install a water filter. Yes, and then you get rid of all the plastic bottles immediately, plus you are not consuming plastic. And that's another health impact for us. The plastic is leaching into the water and we are drinking it and we are absorbing a lot of microplastic, which is bad for us as well. Yeah.
So if that's happening and there is a large amount of microplastics in water, especially the bottled water, so how much of it will consume?
There was a study done by World Wildlife Fund, and according to this study, we all already consume about 5 grams of plastic a week. So this is the amount of a credit card, and that is really scary. So, and I think we don't think about this. Yeah. We all buy these bottles, but we also need to consider, right, they are getting stored somewhere. We live in a very hot climate. Like all these bottles need a huge space of storage. So none of this storage is usually air conditioned. So it stands maybe in the sun, it's heating up, it's getting very hot here. So the plastic kind of starts maybe melting a little bit and it's leaching into the water. And obviously microplastic is everywhere in our oceans, everywhere in our beaches. So 75% of fishes in the deep sea have plastic in them already, and we are eating the fish. It's in salt, it's in the crops, because we use water to irrigate. So plastic is everywhere. They found plastic in Antarctica. So we can't escape it anymore, but we don't know yet the long-term effects this has on our health. So it is really in our own interest, not only from an environmental point of view, that it's killing a lot of marine animals, hundreds of thousands and millions of birds, and it's also coming back to us in the way of microplastic and scary. It's very scary. Very.
Unless we get up and make a decision.
Yes.
So, yes, that was a lot of information. Thank you, Kathrin. Moving forward, I would want to know what's your vision for 1001 Good Deeds? What are you planning for it in the future? How it's going to grow?
I really want to make it very big and successful, not only for my own ego, but really to have a big impact. And I wanted to go beyond also environment. Even though environment is a very, very important point, and it's not yet, the awareness for environment is not yet where it should be in this part of the world. So a lot of people are very philanthropic, but on the other hand, environment is directly linked to poverty, for example, directly linked to conflict and war. So if we are using our natural resources faster than the planet can replenish them, which is already happening, then we are ending up at some point fighting over food. So climate change has an impact on food security, for example, and this can be a serious problem in the Middle East. So here we already have the situation that nothing is growing really, right? So we import most of it. So we have more and more farms, but also then we need to make sure that these farms are in a way that they're not harming the environment again and aggressive fertilizers are used. But then you have the situation, for example, in Africa. Africa is one of the countries that are already a lot affected, or heavily affected. Same as for Bangladesh. Bangladesh sees a lot of floods. Africa sees a lot of droughts. If you have droughts, you have less food security. If you don't have crops growing anymore, then obviously people start suffering from hunger and malnutrition, these people are moving. We already have more than 20 million refugees caused by climate change. So let this number grow, let it be 50 million, 100 million. Where are these people going? We already have a war conflict created number of refugees, and we don't really know how to handle them. So let's come on top of these climate refugees, and we don't know what to do, right? So climate change has an effect on everything. So it doesn't have an effect on poverty, on malnutrition, on health, on everything. So it is very, very important because it affects all areas of our life, and it will come to all of us. It doesn't obviously stop at borders. So the UAE is not exempt from climate change, and we already have certain things that are coming. We are seeing sea level rise here in the UAE. We see more sandstorms, dust storms. We will see also in future increased humidity. We will see increased heat. So all of this together is not a nice scenario, and we need to take it very serious because in the climate we live already, we can't really afford to take much more.
Coming to more of a personal touch to your message, what can we do as contributors with 1001 good deeds to make you go forward and actually be able to have a practically implementable strategy, something that shows that we are standing by your side and helping you achieve your goals? What can we all do? This is what I want to know.
I'm obviously available as a trainer, so I do corporate training for companies on climate change, on sustainability. So I have a lot of material now that I can talk about and train your team to understand climate change, to understand nature, how it all works together. I also can go to companies and highlight what actually they can do to reduce their carbon footprint, to reduce their environmental footprint. And I also teamed up with another company, which is called the App Agency, and they are a creative agency, and we are working together on projects that are directly supporting the 17 United Nations Sustainability Goals. So we do help also companies communicate what they do in terms of CSR and sustainability. A lot of companies are doing great things already, but they don't talk about it. Yeah. So that's something that we can help them. We are doing a project at the moment in Saudi Arabia with a global retail brand to raise the topic of deforestation and desertification. We also work on women empowerment projects, for example. So it's not only about sustainability, it's actually about everything that is related to the 17 United Nations Sustainability Goals. We also look into a project of started working on a project in regards to child education, when it comes to sustainability, when it comes to girl empowerment, when it comes to health and well-being. Also mental health is a very important topic. So we are working on all these kind of topics that are showing how people can live better, healthier, how can companies work without having a big impact, or how can they reduce the impact, those kind of things.
Okay, that's good. What are your top 3 priorities as a person?
Not as a person, I'm obviously very passionate about environment and wildlife because I grew up in a very beautiful part in the south of Germany, surrounded by mountains, and I always loved nature, and I always love nature, and I love animals a lot. So I'm very passionate about wildlife in general. I am also very passionate about human rights and also gender equality. There's a lot of injustice, especially towards women and girls in the world, like a lot of countries that are not treating them equally, and they're just not getting the chance to have a good life or like a good education, or also have an own career. And I truly also believe that no country in the world would be very successful economically if they are not letting the ladies the women in the country having their own careers and contributing to the overall success of the country, right? And I'm also passionate about children. because I feel children are the future of every country, and there are too many children in the world that are neglected, that they face violence, they come into this world, they have nobody to look after them, and especially, I mean, like, there's a high concentration of all of these problems in sub-Saharan Africa, where you see like children really growing up in poverty, not living with basic things that are so normal for us, like electricity, like having the chance to go to school, or if they go to school, they maybe have to walk 15 kilometers, sometimes even without shoes. They don't have medical aids. A lot of kids die below the age of 5 from reasons that none of the kids here would die, because it's just like normal things, right? But there they just don't have access to healthcare, or they live in a rural area and there's no ambulance.
Yeah.
So people have a problem, and the next hospital is 30 kilometers away, and they have no chance to get there. So they just die on the way. So I'm very much into the social justice topic, because I really feel that every person in the world should have the same chances. And we just had Human Rights Day last week, and we are far away from being in a situation that we can say every human being in this world has the same rights. And basically, almost 50% of the population lives in poverty. This is a fact. And the other 50%, or like a lot of people, are not appreciating what they have, or wasting what they have. So the developed countries are wasting a lot of resources. We waste a lot of food. We waste a lot of energy. We waste so many things, water. We throw away food and other people are dying, and the children are
so
not
many
getting enough. So, yeah. So all these kind of things that are linked to social justice, I'm very passionate about.
Right. Thank you so much for being with us today, Kathrin.
My pleasure.
It was very enlightening to have a conversation with you. I hope that you've got the message and you will connect with Kathrin to help her and support her cause and make this earth a better place to live in.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.